What's up, YouTube? We are back, CFC DP here with their first match preview of the year. It's super exciting. Seems like it's been forever, but for the players, it probably could have been about another 3 weeks before they probably are feeling like they're fully rested. But nevertheless, in a World Cup year, in an odd time, we are back. The first game of the year, Chelsea versus Everton. We're going to get you ready for that right now. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about Chelsea and how they may set up for the first match of the year. We're going to look in the back. Edouard Mendy is going to start despite him not being in the best form of late, even going into back to last season. He had a couple of bad moments in preseason, so it'll be interesting to see how he can do and recapture some of that form. I think in terms of the back three, you're going to see Koulibaly on the left, Silva in the middle, Azpilicueta, who just signed a 2-year contract, on the right-hand side. Reece James and I think Ben Chilwell may get that start, depending on if Chelsea think that he can go a full 90 minutes. He may only get 60, and then we'll bring Alonso or Pulisic or somebody else to play that position, Emerson perhaps. So that's how we're going to line up in the back. And I think in the midfield, you are going to see Jorginho and Kovacic play in that game. Perhaps Jorginho and Kanté. I think you're going to need Jorginho. I think if Tuchel noticed anything from the preseason, it's that Jorginho was pretty much our main offensive playmaker when it came to linking the back to the front. He had some really nice passes, as well as Kovacic did. So I think those two may coexist. You could make a shout for Kanté, who did play pretty well this preseason as well. So either Jorginho is a for sure for me, Kovacic, Kanté could be in the next options. I would probably lean towards Kovacic myself. Now moving up top, Kai Havertz, Raheem Sterling, and Mason Mount are going to be your front three for tomorrow. It's going to be for tomorrow. It's going to be the first time that those three have played in a Premier League game together, so it'll be interesting to see how they operate against a surely low block that Everton are going to play against us, because we are going to retain so much of the ball. Because Everton, as you'll hear later from my Everton guest, you will not see a striker from them. Dominic Calvert-Lewin will not be playing in the game. Richarlison has gone to Spurs, and their 2 youth strikers are put on loan. So you're not going to see a lot of attack centrally. You will see Dele Alli probably come up there into that point. But they do have some impressive wingers in Damari Gray and Anthony Gordon, 2 younger players that definitely have a lot of speed and can definitely hurt Chelsea along the outside on a counterattack. So Chelsea are going to have to be strong, but it'll be a really seasoned starting lineup, and you'll see those 2 new signings in Sterling and Koulibaly fit into that first team, and it should be an interesting test for them in the first game of the year. So talking a little bit about how the tactics of Chelsea are going to work against Everton, you are going to see a lot of the same things that we saw last year. However, I think a little bit of the versatility up top is something that will kind of catch your eye over the game, because without Lukaku in, and we saw this when Havertz did play striker last year, Chelsea just press in a whole different matter. And with Raheem Sterling's pressing ability and his ability to be comfortable in the middle area with a little bit more quality, it's going to help, and it's going to transform this attack in a way that we maybe haven't seen from Thomas Tuchel yet. So the ability of those front three to kind of rotate, and for Mount to chase people, and the wingbacks to press up, and the midfielders to continue to work in there, is going to be crucial to Chelsea's success. Pressing Everton has worked in the past, and I don't think it'll be much different now. So in the opportunities that Chelsea do turn it over, you'll definitely see Mason Mount and Havertz and Sterling spearheading that press in order to create some quick opportunities. We will kind of have a question about what are the wing backs going to do against the low block, is another point that I wanted to bring up. Because against Udinese, Reece James had one of his more quiet games from the right-hand side, and Chelsea were really opting to attack from central locations. Is that a mindset of Tuchel for this season with his personnel, or was it just not a good game for Reece James and no opportunities for him to whip in crosses. I think Chelsea would like to get away from the whipping in crosses, but it is such an important part of why we were who we were last year and getting in third place was Reece James and Chilwell. So I think it may be a little bit of, we don't want to be caught dead out of water if James or Chilwell do get hurt, but I would like to see what involvement Reece James has in your attacking system against a low block that Everton's surely going to put against you. So, and also, will Chilwell play a full 90? Probably not. He'll probably give you about 60 minutes. Does Emerson come in? I believe probably Alonso is going to be leaving. Emerson might be leaving as well, so you might see Pulisic in that left wing-back role. So it's tough to see one way or the other how it'll shake out with substitutions. There's 5 substitutions now, so I'm assuming more players are going to play. So it'll be interesting to see how that all works out in terms of the wing-backs. Will Reece James and Chilwell be as effective with kind of a new tactic that Tuchel kind of put forth against Udinese? So on the Everton side of things, Everton is going to be without a couple of their key players, and I haven't really paid attention much to Everton this year. I did my research for this episode, of course, but I outsourced some help. Connor Williams is a Everton content creator, and he's going to tell you a little bit about how he sees this game against Chelsea, breaking down for Everton, and talks a little bit more about where they are at as a club currently.
Hi, my name's Connor from the Toffee Blues, and this is my Everton Chelsea preview for the early start of the season, the first game. I think it's a bit of both. I think Everton are still early in recruitment, don't have enough players, don't have a specific amount of players in specific roles, aka number 6, a ball-winning midfielder. But on the plus side for us anyway, I don't believe Chelsea have their full squad. I think they're lacking in centre-backs. I know obviously Koulibaly came, but I'm hearing Tuchel still wants more because of the free back. And with Werner on his way out, Lukaku's already gone, Batshuayi surplus to requirements, and Broja also linked away. I'm a little bit concerned about who's going to play up front. There are obviously Kai Havertz or Raheem Sterling, again, not out-and-out number 9, so how well they'll do, I don't know. I personally think they're more false 9s, and I don't know if Chelsea are going to play that way. But the big one for us is that Calvert-Lewin's missing. We'll be without our tailsman. Solomon Rondon has a suspension as well that he has to fulfill. So Everton will also be playing without an out-and-out number 9. It's probably going to be Dele Alli, as both of our youth strikers are also out on loan, which is just shows a little inkling of how Everton is run. So I imagine it will be Dele Alli up front, and Dele Alli will have to do a lot of work there as well. I don't know who's going to play behind him in this 3-4-3 that Frank Lampard's playing. But yeah, it'll be an interesting game. I'd love to say I'm feeling confident, but I'm not. I've read about Chelsea, and I've heard a couple of Chelsea fans also say they're not confident. I feel like this game is just going to catch both teams before the window's done and before they're their best versions of themselves. I honestly think this might end up a draw. I can see this being 1-1. I would happily take, I know there'll be Chelsea fans watching this saying they hope that it's not 1-1. I'd happily take 1-1. Every point this season matters to us. And to be fair, every point matters to Chelsea as well, as you should be hoping for European football at the end of this regardless. But yeah, 1-1. No Calvert-Lewin's a big miss, but Chelsea are without an out-and-out striker as well, so that sort of helps a little bit. No team will be playing with an out-and-out striker, and I am a little bit concerned about Chelsea. Well, not concerned, a little bit optimistic about their lack of centre-backs. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but I've seen Levy Colwell's off as well. So yeah, that's my prediction. That's my thoughts on the game. I'm Connor Williams from the Toffee Blues. I'll see you guys soon.
Well, thanks so much to Connor for those words. It was really interesting. I think that, without Calvert-Lewin and no striker, it's going to be a real problem for Everton to score goals. However, we do see that Chelsea can be beat on the break. So with Gordon and Damari Gray out there, will they be able to attack some of those channels? It's definitely possible. I do think that with his score prediction, I believe that it will be about 2-1 Chelsea. I think Chelsea are a little bit more quality, but I do think Everton get a goal in front of their home fans with Mendy's kind of dip in form and maybe some uncertainty amongst Koulibaly and a new kind of defensive setup for Chelsea. We'll see how it breaks down for Everton. I do think they get the goal, but I think Chelsea is the better team. I think Sterling's going to have a big, big impact on the game as well. So, if you'd like to, please go ahead, like, subscribe to the show and the channel. It was awesome to give you the first match preview of the year. It's been crazy doing so many videos in such a short time. But when the news calls for it, we got to do it. So thank you again to Connor Williams for giving us his blurb. Please go ahead and find out his information in the details section below. We will talk to you with a full 360 match review of Chelsea-Everton. Hopefully it starts off good with 3 points to the good guys, and we will see you after the game.